y'all. Okay, y'all. So, welcome to the Confidence Catalyst. We are now in season 3, episode 2. Oh my god. So, if you see me looking down, I'm doing something on my cell phone. It's me taking notes, okay, about things that are going to help us manifest what we need. So, welcome to where we put the cute in client confidence. I am Authentic Low Coaching, okay. I am its owner, and today's just your real more. Hi, hello. Hope you all are doing well or doing okay. Like, follow, subscribe for more content. And without further ado, I'm going to jump right in. So, why managers and mental health with steps count? Now, how many times have we heard about straight up micromanagers? Like, I give you an example. So, I had a manager, and I also am a big mental health girly. You know what I mean? My therapy, my yoga, my spiritual, my books, like my magazines. Like I just am like I'm that type of chick, right? Okay. So and coach, like you I this stuff over there, like I'm a booked down female. Okay. I'm going to go ahead on and get the books every single time. That is it's just inevitable. It's just what I do. And so when I am underneath pressures of managers that are outside forces, when I'm trying to grow a business and brand, oh my God, he'll have no fury. That is so true of a woman's score. I say a black woman's score. Like it's just like, can this even be happening? Impossible. But trust me, it is. It's so possible because people are so right. There's something about having a manager that's hounding you that affects you adversely in your mental health. So when you set your mind on goals that has nothing to do with your manager, you see your mental health spike upward, which is a trend that we like. It causes your happiness. When they are trying, and they is our managers. So whenever our managers are so adamant to make us feel bad about ourselves, by focusing not on our managers, the problems and the naysayers and the people who bring us down, and put that energy into a goal that actually helps us manifest our dreams. Hello, positive. That's something that we want. That's something that we are admiring about within ourselves and people who actually contribute to that type of energy. Now, when we get to that type of space, you'll see that counting your steps is a really good way to do these type of things to keep your energy high, regardless of our manager's bullcrap. That looks like for myself, closing my rings or my app on my cell phone daily, every single day. Now, me, I put my app all the way down to 10 steps that kind of sort of looks like, no, I don't care if that's just the starting point. If I'm starting at 10 steps, that's fine with me. I really do not mind that for real, for real. I have moments where I'm like, oh, wow, okay, I can get my steps together. I only did 9, 10, 11, 12, whatever the starting point may have been at whatever point in time. And as I continuously go up throughout my day, I'll look at it, cool, ring close, cool, ring close tomorrow, cool, ring close the day after, cool, ring close, ring close, ring close. And then I've closed those rings for going on 2 years straight. So now it's a habit. Right. And I just read this the other day. So y'all the first ones who get to hear it come from me, that usually you will see that as you go older and grow into the women and men that we're supposed to become, that you'll see that we'll give up in most of our habits within a few weeks to a month, to a few months, if you will, a few weeks to a few months. And that's a no-go, right? That's not clutch. Everybody knows that. But it's difficult to stick to our goals for a few years at a time because therefore that builds that momentum that we need. And it's kind of easy to do though when you know that the gym girlies, that's in gymnasium, that's gymnastics. I mean, the gym, we have to do that in high school. It's a part of our curriculum. So it's kind of like it's new and foreign, but it's not because we have the degrees that says so. Otherwise, like no, that's not really the case, and that's not really true. And as you get to do those things, you get to see that it really does make more sense to listen to our bodies, to our rings, to people who are leading these classes that really help us manifest our goals, and less to the managers who are spewing that hatred. And this is why. So, counting your steps is a really way that's positive to combat your mental health in order to deal with your manager's BS. Okay. And that's one thing I really want us to hold in on to. For myself, I'll keep my phone in my pocket and I'll just step, 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 step. And I'll give you another example. Somebody can say that you need to do this all shift, or somebody can say that all I ever see you do is just walk around. Like they'll play it off, downplay it, they'll play you. And I mean, God, sometimes I get so mad at our environment here in Cleveland, Ohio. I'm moving to Euclid. And Euclid honestly reminds me of Dallas, Texas, which is our home. You know what I mean? So I feel bad, but I don't. Because it's so innate into to who I am as a woman and a person, individual. So I like that at the same time in talking. But whenever I get really mad at my surroundings, I will always remember, and I don't know how I do this, y'all. It's just some kind of skill, I guess, as a coaches, they just got a different mindset. So that's just what it is. But every time I feel myself getting ready to go into the why are y'all doing this, I can circle back so easily with ease to the exact moment as to why they're doing this. And then my levels are kind of once more. And I try basically to keep them there, to remain as stable as possible in that thinking pattern, which leads us to dealing with our significant others. And even with my girlies who have that dreamy aesthetic, I mean, be very careful with that because we can go mad. I'm just going to say it. We can really kind of sort of lose our touch on reality when we allow ourselves not to experience something that we know our soul is craving. And by doing that behavior, by denying something that we know we're craving, that's why we go mad. And that's what I'm saying. You have to be very careful with that because that's very, very, very scary. And when you allow yourself to feel an experience before you actually experience it, that's scary too. But that's also why that behavior takes courage as well. That's what they mean by doing something even when it scares you. That is what produces the courage. And this is true because when you have a vision or moment in your mind, like, well, I already lived this, but why haven't I seen it? And it's visible reality yet. Like, what's the holdup? And once it finally does, dream and reality, they each are equally yoked. You miss going mad by maybe a millifraction of your hair. And that's it. So I'm not saying that to frighten you. I'm just saying that to make you wiser. Okay. So again, why managers and mental health is so interconnected. It's probably because we spend the most of our time, or I don't even care, any of our time with anybody that is around you is able to affect your mental health. I have literally started to deny access to people that bring me harm, whether it's mentally and physically and spiritually and psychologically. I have distanced. I mean, one day I was riding down St. Clair and I was on Superior. I've never went down Superior that way across it ever again. Just I had to create that distance. I just did. I mean, I was salty for hours at a time, and that's never again. And it hasn't been. I haven't got another ticket in forever. I have refused to do it. You know what I mean? Like, and this is a really good example as to why. As I even think about the debt that I find myself trying to get out of, whether it's student loans or whatever else, and the fact that that's something that somebody else would wish upon me, even when I have to deal with as massive hurdles as I did, that really was just brokenhearted. That really made me feel like my heart was broken and fractured in the weirdest of places. And so it made that move easy to do, to create and manifest because of the severity of one's brokenheartedness behind someone else's behavior. So that is why our mental health and the way that we conduct ourselves when we are actually trying to figure out our flow when it comes to dealing with these managers and these people and things like that is so precious. You have to create your goals. Unfortunately, you really do. Just to maintain your sanity, your precious of loving spirit for real. Just to be frank, because everybody is not really all sugar cookies and roses. They stink, you know what I mean? Their attitudes is even stinkier than the shit that they pooping out the ass. And so, I mean, you really gotta just kind of sort of take that with you and stride along down this path that you on, that you travel as a young man or woman. Is that easy? No, probably not. But it definitely is gonna build that what you need, little bit to go ahead on and get whatever it is that you need. Now, I'm not saying that that's something that everybody's going to root for, but you may find a few people, one or two, who do. You know what I mean? So, hey, you got to take the salt, with the sweet. You can do it. Like and subscribe and follow. And, yeah, I think that about did it. I think that's pretty good. Um, if you have any other questions, you can feel free to leave a comment below about anything that you may want to know, whatever that may be. What it is, you can always drop a comment and tell me. And I'm more than willing and happy to answer any of those questions. Um, I just want to make sure that if anything else I feel like needs to be said, I want y'all to know what it is. You know what I mean? Because this is it. This is all we got. So I just want to make sure that everything is pretty. pretty legitimate. All right. Well, anyway, we're here every Thursday at 5 a.m. So, if you don't know, much about confidence, if you are trying to combat some issues with people, I definitely encourage you to take a look at some things. You don't have to look at all of them. You know what I mean? Go through whatever, and something resonates, and that one is something that you need. So, you're welcome. And I guess I'll talk to you all again soon on the next.